It's Toilet Tunes. The holiday edition.
Sure is.
And now we pause. It's Toilet Tunes. I'm your host, Sarah Morris. Folks come to my big green bathroom somewhere north of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we sing a little, we talk a bit, we put it out on the internet just in time for your Friday afternoon. Of course it's the internet, so you go on and watch it when you choose. But there's a new episode coming out real soon. So stay Toilet Tunes, stay Toilet Tunes. And that was our pause. I'm Sarah Morris. I invite people into my big green bathroom to sing songs. People like Paul Thomas. Paul Thomas, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Good.
Feels good to be in the big green bathroom.
I know.
My first ever performance in here. I'm a little nervous.
You came to the bathroom one other time for a little bit.
That was like a shtick. That was not a true performance.
Oh, that's right. This is a true. This is art. We are about to make art.
Ooh, yikes. That's a scary thought. Oh my gosh.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holidays to you. It's the holiday season.
The holiday season.
And Santa Claus is coming around. Christmas snow is white on the ground. When old Santa gets into town, he'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll be coming down the chimney down. It's the holiday season.
The holiday season.
And Santa Claus has a toy for every girl and every boy. He's got a great big bundle of joy. He'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll have a big backpack upon his back and lots of goodies for you and for me. So leave a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick hanging on the Christmas tree. What's that about? Yeah?
Hey, you guys singing outside? I was going back and join you. Here we go. It's the holiday season. The holiday season. And whoop-de-doo, dickory-dock. Don't forget to put up your sock, 'cause precisely at 12 o'clock he'll be coming down the chimney, down the chimney, down the chimney, down. He'll have a big sack pack on his back, full of presents for you and for me. So with a peppermint stick for old Saint Nick and hang it on the Christmas tree.
It's the holiday season.
The holiday season.
And dickory-dock.
Don't forget to hang up your sock, 'cause precisely at 12 o'clock he'll be coming down the chimney, coming down the chimney, coming down the chimney,
Coming down the chimney. Coming down
the
the
chimney
chimney.
down.
Happy holiday.
Happy holiday,
Happy holiday.
happy holiday.
While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We high-fiving?
High five.
High five.
High five.
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
Paul
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah, all right.
Zach, Papa Bear, no, Zach, grab a chair. Let's get our Toilet Tunes on.
Yeah.
Grab a chair.
What a joy. I have long wanted to do this song, and you two are the perfect ones to
Yeah, boy.
cause that ruckus with.
Hey, guy.
Hey, buddy.
So you met Papa Bear before. This is your third.
I think this might be my third.
Plus, you've done a couple Christmas
I've done at least one Christmas, but I think 2,
Yeah. And you've been in the bathroom, but it's your first official episode. So we're gonna
felt good about it. Felt good,
You should. Like you said, we're gonna make art. We just did. We did. I've known you for a long time. First as a radio DJ, because you are the voice of the mornings over at The Wolf.
Correct. Yep.
Yes.
No.
You get up even earlier than I.
Maybe one of the only people that you know that gets up. Yeah, you could text me in the morning and I would actually respond, which is great.
I could text you in the morning,
in the evening, in the.
In addition to the work you do as a DJ, you also you spearhead things. Does that feel like an appropriate? You're a spearheader.
I appreciate it. I would say spearhead. Hopefully create. And maybe
lead.
Lead. Try to lead. Others and stuff like that. We obviously have the Midwest Country Music Organization. Yep. Both of you guys are members of that. 300 members strong in the Upper Midwest at this point in time. And then the LIVIN Foundation is another nonprofit that I started. I would say like taking personal tragedy and turning it into driving purpose and maybe making change for the future. I lost my father to suicide. So LIVIN is all about mental health awareness and suicide prevention and we talk about starting conversations and just getting people to connect with each other and open up and make the conversation just a little bit more like okay and whatnot about mental wellness. And so we're very grateful. I'm celebrating 10 years this spring.
10 years?
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah. So
that's amazing.
It's a weird, we don't like to say celebrating. It's kind of like, because most people that are connected with the cause, it's not like a celebration per se. It's more of honoring a legacy of 10 years of hopefully helping others and giving them hope.
I'm certain that you have. I mean, I think that I've witnessed, you have a music festival, you do other events where you bring people together, and I think, I don't know, I'm just always impressed by the way that you bring this conversation out to people that I think might not get the messaging otherwise.
Sure.
And I think it's really important, and I think especially this time of year, it can be really, right, we're wearing lots of sparkle, and I feel
lights.
Most of it, but also the holidays can be incredibly hard and lonely. And
If you're missing somebody at the dinner table, right, during this time of year, there's probably never a time when it's more apparent that they're not there. And so, the holidays can be a very tricky time. One of the things that LIVIN has tried to spearhead with a few other nonprofits now is a thing called LIVIN Connected. And it's where we're using AI technology in a way. Her name is Hope. We named her. So it's like, I'm Hope, so people will go to LIVIN Connected and Hope comes to you and says take my hand and I'm going to try to walk with you and try to get you some help or maybe just some hope. Honestly, we talk about that. People, everybody needs hope in some capacity, right? So a lot of people have reacted to it and said that we're glad hope is a part of their life. And so, we're, giving people a reason to believe in a beautiful day today and what could be even a better day tomorrow is a very cool thing. And to be part of that, might be one of the really most beautiful blessings that I've ever been able to be a part of is when you see somebody decide or realize how much they have to live for. Mm-hmm. That is it's a really cool thing, to be honest. Yeah. It's neat.
So if I will link below to the LIVIN website, and that's where they would find LIVIN Connected.
Yep.
And can you show us your bracelet?
Sure. Yep.
You've got a lot of good ways to remind her. I sometimes will see
#LIVIN.
There's great bumper stickers car decals. Yeah. And so sometimes I'll be stuck in traffic, and I will be like, I already like that person because I know their decal. Yeah. It makes me so happy.
We have weird stories of people trying to drive really fast to catch up to somebody with a LIVIN decal, and I'm always like, hey, there's a lot of them to go around. Don't do anything. Yeah, be safe, please. Don't drive erratically just to get a picture of somebody's LIVIN decal.
So it also is a connected, a community too, right? So what's emerged out of it too is people who feel part of something.
100%. Yep. The best example that I can probably give with that is, with breast cancer, the color pink, there's nothing really inherently positive about breast cancer other than beating it, obviously, right? But through the color pink, you have events, you have a community that's been created. So people kind of they resonate, they realize that maybe you are in some way, shape, or form, like you've lived through my shoes. And so when people with LIVIN bracelets or LIVIN hats or whatever it might be, shirts, I think they see that. They say, I might not wear a shirt that says I lost my dad to suicide, but I proudly wear a LIVIN shirt, and then other people, they know that it's like a comfortable, vulnerable opportunity to find strength in that community for sure.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing about LIVIN is that it's not singular focused. So like if you are struggling with like mental health, you can go to them as a resource for help on that. If you are a family that has dealt with suicide in your family, there are people there to help you with that.
Yeah.
And so but I mean, that's not always, the case. I mean, it's the organization does so much great work for both sides of that, and that's just my 2 cents on it. But we've been with LIVIN, we've been around LIVIN since its inception, so Papa Bear, we're big fans of the LIVIN organization.
And I would say too, thank you for that, Papa Bear. And I honestly, I think one of the things that we probably take a lot of pride in with LIVIN is that, I originally, I lost my dad, so that's my story. But when you become maybe a supporter or you're involved with it or whatever, you're not doing it because of my story. It's your story, right? So everybody gets a chance to kind of, really share their own story and be part of the movement for the reason that hits home to them. And that's what allows it to really grow and cultivate, and it's really cool. So yeah, thanks for the support, everybody. And if we can help just one person today or tomorrow or whatever, then that's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. And ways to get involved, to look forward, they have a wonderful festival in September.
Yep, September. Yep.
Second weekend?
Always the 2 weekends after Labor Day. So it's weird. It's always weekend. Sometimes it's the second weekend of September. Sometimes it's kind of the third. But
that feels like Thanksgiving math.
Yes, it is. It's kind of sometimes Christmas is 4 weeks after or 5 weeks, and now it's 4. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, but look forward to that. It's wonderful. And then there's going to be something in April as well, another big event.
Yeah, we have a Givin' is Livin' fundraiser with Michael Shines. I'm sure you guys locally know Michael Shines, a great guy, and
I've never met him.
Really?
Which is dumb.
Which just seems weird because you guys are both incredibly talented. I would think you guys had come up connected at some point in time. But a little bit, he's probably a little bit of a different scene, I guess, maybe. But yeah, very nice guy, and also has just come, like you, like Papa Bear. I think there's been a groundswell of artists and musicians that have resonated with this cause, and Michael's one of them as well. He has been very open about certain struggles that he's had or whatever, and it's that's okay. It makes it that much more authentic, I think, when he gravitates towards the movement. So
yeah. All right, well, I'm linking to that below. And Papa Bear, since we last saw you, you did release out. You came out last time to kickstart an album, and not only
we kickstarted it, we released it, and then in true Papa Bear fashion, we put it out and said nothing about it. And so I think we've decided that next year, when it's been out for a year and a half, we're going to finally do a CD release show a year and a half later. That's just how we roll. We've had a lot of great ideas, and then we couldn't decide on one, so we just did none of them. So
that's like when you have a baby, and the first year and a half is such a blur. You really should have a party to celebrate. Finally, they're sleeping through the night, and they're napping.
You were saying you're trying to figure out how to describe PT, and this isn't the right word, but I can't think of one. I call folks like PTs executioners. I know that's not right, but I say that because they have dreams, and then they actually execute those dreams.
Executioner.
I am what you just call a dreamer. 15 great CD release show ideas, me and B, we did none of them. So maybe one year, you never know.
But they can. Anyone watching right now could stream it. They can.
Oh yeah, it's out there. You can order it. You can stream it.
It exists. We just need to tell more people about it.
Yep. And it's called Country's Back in Town, and it's Papa Bear Norton, and it's actually a killer album, and it's got an absolutely dynamite duet with Nasser Morris right here.
There you go.
We had a good time. We did
well. It did. Yeah, you did well. It was. She came into the studio and recorded it, and the guys that were in the studio, the engineers, were just like,
"Oh, she's pretty good."
It was just silent.
Amazing.
Yeah. After a week of working with Bronson and I, and she comes in, it was kind of like, they were.
They're like, "Oh, Papa, we didn't realize you had a professional in this album."
That's right. Exactly.
Have a release show so we can do it it live. That's what you got.
There you go.
That's what we should
That's
do.
what you should do.
Absolutely.
Maybe the award show should be like a release show, and then Midwest CMO award show, and you guys do the duet together.
Well, I'll be there.
That wasn't one of the 15 ideas, was it?
It might have been. Yeah. That's right. We'll drop it.
That's great.
But
I'll link to that below so that people can.
Yes, please do.
But Folsom Prison that you're doing, which is super cool.
So it's we're close to Christmas. We've been doing Christmas shows with Cat Perkins this month, and now starting next month and then into February, we'll be touring with the Folsom Prison Experience. I don't have the website for you, but if you Google Folsom Prison Experience,
it's right there. Click there.
And we're all over the Midwest. We're doing shows all over the place, and
it's a great show.
It's half musical, half tribute show, and it's the Church of Cash guys. And you watch the recording of Live in Folsom Prison, and it's absolutely fun. It's great.
That's awesome.
And
it's a lot of fun.
B and I are part of it. We somehow finagled our way into that thing, and it's one of the most enjoyable things that I've done in a long time. So
I love that.
You like musicals, if you like theater, if you like Johnny Cash, if you like just country music, if you like just great talented music in general. Folsom Prison Experience, the link is there or there or there.
It's
Is it
probably
there?
there.
Is
But
it
yes,
there?
maybe, I don't know. I suppose it depends on.
It's there. It depends on what platform.
It's somewhere,
you're
but
on.
I've linked below, even though our friend does not know the website. I know the website, so we're good.
Brilliant.
We're on Toilet Tunes, and so I get to thank our sponsors.
Ooh, that's great.
Yes, I'm sponsored by Winnow MN. Do you all know about Winnow?
I don't. Tell me about Winnow.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I didn't offer you coffee. Well, I did offer you coffee. Nobody took me up on the offer for coffee. That's because I gave them bourbon balls. But
Yeah. Hey-o.
Winnow MN is a coffee roasting subscription service where they partner with different Minnesota roasters. So
Cool.
if you are a member of Winnow, every month you get a bag or 2 or 3 of freshly roasted beans by a different Minnesota roaster. So you're supporting all kinds of local businesses.
Cool.
You don't ever have to leave your house for it. And this last month we were drinking Curioso, which is, I'm still finishing it. It's delicious. And if you use code Stay Toilet Tuned, you get $5 off your first bag.
Love that.
beautiful.
Toilet Tunes has a sponsor. That's amazing.
That's
We
right.
do.
It's incredible.
They're great.
Thank you very much. We know.
Delicious.
That's very
right.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's local, which we
It's
love. We love
so
that.
local.
Yeah.
And I love,
Yeah.
I mean, I really do love coffee. So
Yeah.
getting to like find these different places, and a lot of them have shops, but some of them don't. Like Minimum Wage Tim, he was actually a guest on Toilet Tunes
Oh,
once,
cool.
'cause he's also a musician. He doesn't have a store, but he delivers to other places, so it's a good way to experience things you wouldn't get otherwise.
Love
All right,
it.
the first thing we do, the first question we ask everybody on Toilet Tunes is, will you tell me something good? Tell me something good in your world or the world, big, little, any kind.
Super easy for me. My wife and I just bought our first house together. We've been married for several years. Thank you very much. We've been renting and finally just bought a house together. So on one hand, it's super cool to like have a place of our own that we can, you know, kind of make our own, if that makes sense. Not like we couldn't before. On the other hand, it's very expensive. I did not realize the Amazon superhighway goes right to our house, as does the Wayfair superhighway and the Home Depot superhighway and every other superhighway that exists. So the neighbors are like, "Oh, you guys order a lot of stuff," and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what."
Stop judging.
So yeah, but it's a very cool experience and we're very blessed. So yeah, thank you very much.
We'll be home for Christmas.
And we will. And apparently now we're going to try to host. So we have 1 year where we're going to host, like in 2025, Brooke's family, like her sister and brother-in-law and a bunch of them. So like a whole 9 people. So we got a year to prepare.
Okay.
So which is good. We're not going to do it this year. Obviously,
Okay.
that would have been a little bit weird. But yeah, so that's my Tell Me Something
They
Good.
got boxes they can sleep in. Look
They
at
can help out,
this. There's an
honestly.
empty box.
There's all your gifts too for Liv and stuff. It's like it's like an Amazon box.
There you
That's the
go.
best ever.
What do you got?
Hey, Papa Bear Norton, just going strong, and I'm just grateful. It's not lost on us how weird we are, but you know, people seem to dig it, and we're just, you know, this last year has just been great with fairs in the summer and Sheehaw with Kat and Christmas with Kat Perkins, and then doing the Folsom thing, and you know, and yeah, I don't know. Life's just good for old Papa Bear. That's all I gotta say.
I think tagging on to that, just so as an outside observer and a fan of Papa Bear in general, for you guys to be able to, you know, take Papa Bear and Papa Bear Norton, which what that is in terms of your duo and your style and everything, to have an album that, of course, we didn't tell that many people about, but we will work on it. But then to get that with Kat Perkins, with She-Ha, with Folsom Prison or whatever, to take that, it's really cool how you've been able to almost like create some you know, spokes on the Papa Bear Norton brand.
Big time spokes.
Yeah, some cool spokes.
Absolutely.
You've kind of been spoken a little
That's
bit.
it, yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
The next question is, where are you learning right now?
Ooh, great question. Well, I guess I would say the DIY part of our house or whatever, but I am so un-DIY.
You're someone else.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like if it's like hang this, you know, like painting on the wall. Like I wouldn't even be able to figure that out or whatever. So I would say that with LIVIN, ironically enough, I'm going to be moving into a like more of a true executive director role per se. Like our executive director is kind of being like we're sort of promoting her to sort of run the LIVIN Connected that we were talking about. So like I'm gonna kind of have to be in a universe where I'm kind of running the show, but also like delegating with others, which I think is a great learning opportunity because I work really hard at not like doing it. I think there's a tendency when you're running things, it's like to do it all yourself.
For sure.
And so what I've really been learning, and I've been doing this the last like 12 to 18 months, is like, okay, how can I find a universe where I can, you know, allow other people to shine and get them in a spot where they can do well, and then also what is it that I can help them with to shine and to do well? And if they have issues, how can I clear a path for them, if that makes sense? But like, so kind of achieving, you know, cool things without actually physically having to do every single thing. That's like a skill that's really important to me. I'm learning it every day. So, yeah.
I bet. It's how things grow.
Delegate.
And it's also hard because if you know you can do it, you're like, well, I'll just do it. I mean, I have the same, I'll just do it. I'll just
do it myself.
But
like, really, you know.
That keeps things at a stasis and it tends to burn out a person.
Amen.
So like you want, and everyone has something to offer. So like the more that you can like see this person and say, oh my gosh, you're going to bring this to our organization. Yeah.
Amen.
That's beautiful.
Love it.
Where are you learning?
My answer's always the same every time I'm here.
Yes.
Being a parent.
Yeah.
Constant learning curve.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing about kids? They keep getting older.
It's weird.
New challenges.
Every time,
Yeah, and so there's that.
As soon as you figured something out, that's when it happens.
That's when it happens.
The next level for you.
Next level. And so it's just like I've said before, it's a challenge. It's rewarding. Mm-hmm. It's scary. It's awesome, you know.
Yeah.
And then after today's conversation, I think I'm going to start learning about album promotion because apparently that's something I need to learn about.
That's great.
Just fine. All right, so where are you learning is like acute. It's now.
Okay.
The next question is like more all the time. What for you is the steady beat of it, the thing you can constantly return to for replenishment or support, or where you go to when you just need a little renewal, but you know it's there. The steady beat.
Interesting. I think for me, I would say, so I'm rooted in like gratitude. Okay. So when my wife and I got married, you know how people do the lights now, that's kind of popular, where you have your name and it's like the Johnsons, and they have like the light up whatever they're called, like Alpha Lit or something like that.
You're so much cooler than I am.
Yeah, it's like it's an Instagram thing, you know. I don't know, like the kids all do it. Like they've got to have the light ups, like Mr. and Mrs. with the light up lights or whatever. We actually had the lights, and it was grateful. So like we actually had people taking pictures with the word grateful, and so it's like rooted in, I think, our existence as a couple, but like me as an individual, and I think that the reason in gratitude to me is the heartbeat of how I want to live my life, is because like it shapes how you like view the world, like your perspective. Like if you truly have like a level of gratitude towards, you know, who you have in your life and what you have in your life or whatever, the things that happen on a daily basis, like, you know, I always talk about how like happiness can be fleeting, but joy and peace is like is like can really go like on. You can be in a spot of like deep inner peace, and if something bad happens that day, it's just like you can brush it off so easily because it's not like you're not really worried about whatever that particular thing is. And I think that's rooted because of gratitude. So it may or may not be the right way to kind of, you know, quote unquote live life, but for me it works really well. And so like if I can every single day I try to wake up and go to bed with a grateful heart, and it has done, you know, worlds for my mental wellness and just for like life in general. So gratitude.
It's one of the things that I felt like, I mean, I love working with you on things. I love working with you on things too. One of the specific reasons is your external, like your explicit gratitude, like because I'm that way too. Like
Thank you. Yeah.
Just love to talk about it, and it's such a joy to encounter you because you know you wear it on your sleeve and your neck and your you know, like all the things. But I'm a big like gratitude is the pathway to joy, and my prayer before I go to sleep at night is just thank you, you know.
Yeah.
So
there's I think there's a lot to be grateful for, and certainly there's a lot of challenges and, you know, quote unquote speed bumps and, you know, great things and bad things and everything else. But if you have a gratitude, and if you can find, seek out what you can be grateful for or who you can be grateful for, I think it's an incredible path, like you mentioned, to joy. So gratitude,
I
man.
love it.
Listen, this might not be the right answer because
There's
the
no
question's
answer.
over.
There's no answer.
But here's the
Oh,
deal.
you're right. That is wrong. Just
No, but I mean I think
I'm
this
taking a look
answers
at the next question.
I think this answers your question. But for me, it's actually twofold, because when I start feeling like when family and kids and relationships on the life side of things start, that bandwidth gets too thin.
Sure.
I always can refill it by doing music. You know, Bronson and I have been doing Papa Bear Norton for almost 10 years, which is crazy.
Wow,
that's awesome.
And we still get together and write and we make ourselves laugh. We have so much fun doing it. It's the most enjoyable thing I've ever been a part of outside of my family in my life.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of musicians I played with, and I'm sorry that you're not number one, but that is number one.
You're all number two, though. All the rest of you.
Don't
number one.
unsubscribe just because.
But then you get booked up, and you go on a run of shows, and it's not that this gets to be too much, but all of a sudden this bucket needs to be filled, and you get home, and you're like, I'm glad I got a few days off from playing music, and then there's nothing that makes you feel better than coming home and just hanging out with your kids and your wife. And I have a insane support system with my parents and my in-laws.
Nice.
And they are all the reason why this one happens. Without them, this one ain't happening, I can tell you. And so like, they just keep kind of feeding each other.
Yeah.
And it's like a perfect little.
It's an infinite game.
It is.
There you go. Yeah.
And
It's perfect
like,
synergy between music and family, and it's great, you know.
Because you say that without family, music doesn't happen, but it's possible that without music and that outlet, you know, you can't be.
I'm a very different
You can't be the dad
person.
you want to be.
I'm a very different person
Yeah.
without music.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've quit music before, and you know, and been tractor being
And
back in.
did you like who you were when you quit music or no?
I didn't really know who I was, and you know.
So you weren't your true self then?
No,
Yeah.
no, because you know, I love the creation process.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I get
Amen,
that.
man.
I'm very similar.
Amen.
Yeah. So that's it. Family and music. There's my bucket fillers.
I love it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, the last question is, will you take us by the ears and spin us out to something you're listening to that's getting your ears hot and bothered? Something it's turning you on in a musical sense.
Ooh, in a musical sense.
Yeah, and I know you
popular-
hear tons of music.
Yeah. You know, so I guess maybe like in particular, like artists or whatever. I don't know if there's like any artists that I'm like super into, but they're like one of the things I will say in country music that I'm looking forward to, you know, I think in the future is there are a lot of different stylistic approaches to music. I mean, like with The Wolf, we're more like contemporary country, if that makes sense. But I will say that, like, you know, we are playing, you know, music from, you know, newer artists, throwback artists. We're even throwing artists that are maybe more of your, like, I mean, I guess I'll say like maybe the Texas country or like the Zach
Cool.
Tops of the world. So I think what's cool more so than ever is there's just like the appetite for country music in general, and even like I would say like country adjacent. Look at like Tyler Childers and the success that he's having. So I think maybe what I'm saying is like forget about like radio per se just itself. I think just within country music, there's a lot of opportunities for artists of all like styles and genres or whatever to have success. And we just had, like I said, we just had this guy Drew Baldridge in studio who had a #1 record in country radio called "She's Somebody's Daughter," and he did not have a major label at the time.
Oh, really?
Like it just went. So he's like the first artist ever to like really have like not a major label and go #1. So if you think about it,
In like commercial
radio,
Yeah,
like he
that's
was
amazing.
the #1 song, and when
That's
it went to radio, like it was like his own album that he had, or his own like music label that he had just kind of created, basically, like you and I could do, if that makes sense, right? So so I think maybe the point I'm getting at is, you know, we're at a point in time where like the people, like the artistry and the song can win out, even though there's a lot of, you know, arguments that it's all about the machine and stuff like that, which I think it is. But like it can win, and like he just
That's
kind of
amazing.
proved that it can. So
Hey, Drew.
yeah, Drew Baldridge, go get him, man. And so cool story, and yeah, just kind of neat to see that. So
I have not heard that yet, so I will listen and I will link to that below so we can all
yeah,
listen.
she's somebody's daughter.
Cool.
If you're a mom or a dad and you're got like a wedding coming up with like a daughter,
Get ready to just die.
Oh yeah, it might be. It's. I mean, I don't want to say a tearjerker, but it's pretty emotional for sure. Yeah.
Good.
Hey, I'm always hitting the time machine every time I come here.
You're
but-
not that way. I love that.
It occurred to me, my son is 10, and it occurred to me that his age group has a disadvantage from my age group, which is I grew up in the time of the CD, but it was still like you would discover stuff, and now it's like pre-curated lists. They can just, you know, you don't have to put something on, and if you change it tangibly, like you get like, and so I've been going through music with him. And pulling out some old CDs. And so here's me. Without a Sound by Dinosaur Jr.
Okay.
I've been just hitting the 90s alt rock hard. Dinosaur Jr. Was not a major label success like Nirvana or anything else. Acquired taste in the vocals, killer songwriting, killer guitar work, okay?
Okay.
And then as always, I'm gonna promote this guy, my buddy Nathan Walker, and his band The Sparks in
Oh,
Minneapolis.
yes, you did see them last time.
You want to find out if rock and roll is alive and well? It is, and it's right here in Minnesota. Go check those guys out. One of the best songwriters in town, lyric-wise, and just keeps it, doesn't try to get too fancy. It's just good old, like, I don't know, alt rock.
I'm going to link to all of that below.
Please do. That's awesome.
Yes, I'm very excited. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anytime Papa Bear says somebody's a great songwriter,
true.
that's you know, like that's
Yeah.
it's like that's.
And I think this might be the first time I didn't say Buck Owens. So hey, I always check out Buck Owens
Last
too.
time you had somebody Sam.
Harmonica Sam.
That's right.
The countryside of Harmonica Sam, still awesome.
Your recs are always good. Well, thank you both for coming into Toilet Tunes.
Great to be here.
I didn't say this yet, but next week we are closing the lid on Toilet Tunes. We are putting the lid down. So this is our penultimate episode.
Wow.
And Paul is someone I've wanted for a long time, so I'm really glad that you said
Holy
yes.
cow.
And Zach, I mean, I'm always grateful to have you here.
I know. Well, you
You're
said
being a
you said this
supporter.
is the penultimate episode, so that's why I wore my tux.
That's right, get fancy. So I hope that a few things. One, you have a happy holiday if you're getting ready to do that. And then that you join me next Friday for the finale. The
Oh my
final
gosh.
flush.
Wow, the
Final flush time. We get to thank our sponsors again. First one I didn't mention before, their sponsorship in kind. Have either of you ever been to Wyoming, Minnesota? You
Yes.
have.
Yeah, Wyoming, the city.
The
yeah,
city.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Hallberg Center for the Arts. Are you familiar with this?
I have not, no.
You've done the
No.
Songwriter Night.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so the Hallberg Center for the Arts, I think it used to be a church. It's a beautiful building.
Cool.
Where they have gorgeous visual art that they curate gallery showings like monthly. They offer community classes and ways for people to come and participate. And then once a month they do a songwriter round. They pay their songwriters. people come and do like pin drop quiet listening. It's a
Ooh,
very special
love that.
experience, and it's Wyoming Area Creative Arts Community, WACC. I forgot to say how fun their name is.
WACC, yeah.
WACC. And so I will link to that below. Their next show that they have is January 30th, and I'm one of the people.
There you go.
It's me and Katie Vernon and Mary Cucciafello. I'm just gonna sit there like this
Wow.
the whole time.
It's a great lineup.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna be happy to be there. So
Yeah.
WACC, thank you for all your care of us. And then Winnow,
Winnow.
thank you. Use code
Winnow.
STAYToiletTunes over there to get $5 off your first bag. And then I could do nothing without these people over at Patreon, my Sarah subscribers. Thank you so much for, saying yes. And if you want to say yes, I'm going to be working on a new album next year. And so these yeses that people have said make a big difference. So I would love to see your name on a little heart. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sarah.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Until next Friday, stay toilet tuned.
Merry Christmas.